Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm just finishing putting my lipstick.
Oh, sure. Love
You
it.
know how ladies are. We like have to have the lips on. Oh my God.
Oh, you got to
I s
dial it up.
you
That's
gotta
great.
doll it. You gotta doll it up for the people. Hold on,
I love that shit, Gina. Well, thank
let me
you
slightly move this.
for taking the
You're
time here to join us. Where are
yes.
you
Oh
dialing
my
in
God.
from?
Oh, it's okay. Do you like cats, by the way?
Love cats. Big
There's
cat person.
one. Can
I
you
haven't had a
see it?
cat for a long time, but I was yeah, I don't want to say my mom's a cat lady, but I think there was a
Well, there
point
you
in time
go.
where and it's like my favorite too. I had a cat just looking like that, called
Really?
Cleopatra.
This one's name's Rozzy, but Cleopatra's cooler.
Cle-
So,
Cleopatra the kitty catra.
oh my God, I love the kitty Catra. I love that so much.
But yeah,
She is
there was a point in
definitely one of
time. I
the
think we had like five cats at one point when I was like grade five, six, seven, eight,
no. That's kind of terrifying. That sounds scary to me.
and they were all fucking super cool. Like some cats can
Oh,
be
really?
straight up assholes, right?
Oh, we had a cat before this cat that was so mean. It made me afraid of cats, but she's cool. Except now she's hitting me.
Yeah, Murphy's Law. So,
Anyway, sorry, this
uh,
isn't about cats.
Gina, I think that some people are going to know you from The Voice, right? So back in
Yeah,
like years back now, 2016. But it seems like a pretty good place to start. And you're
yeah.
just a kid doing this, right? Like was it 16, 17? I can't remember what I read.
Yeah, I was 17 at the time, when I started. I just graduated high school, like, a month before I started my audition process.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, no, it was insane and really weird to be 17. Like, you just don't know anything at 17. I mean, I guess you think you do, but
Well, you think you do? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's just a weird time in my life, and, um, I think you just always at that point are looking for external validation, so it was great. I got a lot of external validation,
Sure.
but I think that can be detrimental, but it was good. It ended up being good for me, but I think those reality shows, it's really tough. I don't think that I would let my kid go on. I don't think, but what do I
Really?
know?
Really?
At least not till they're a little older. I think
Okay.
it because of the ability for it to go so bad and for people that you don't know to hate you. Like, I remember there's forums for these things, of course. Like, I didn't know what Reddit was when I was 17, but you basically end up finding out that, like, people are posting in there, like, how bad you are or how good you are or yeah, it's weird, and you're
Oh
17
yeah.
and
And
you're
and
just like,
you can't read that shit. Like even you can't read that
"No.
shit even for like the good stuff. Because if
No,
you
you
believe
can't."
the good
Mhm.
stuff, then surely you must believe the bad stuff. And you can't read
Yeah.
those comments.
No, you're so right. I even got my first stalker when I was 17
Oh my God. Stalking at
from the show.
17, like,
I was like, "Damn it." Like, and you kind of feel like you're winning a little bit, but then they're being annoying, so
yeah. And so who got you down that path? Like, was it just you straight
yeah.
up, or was it like friends or like your parents say like you should try that, or
My mom would not shut up about me doing it to the point that I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it."
yeah,
Um, but I mean, back when I was 17, okay, I was 17. How old was I? I mean, what year was it? It was okay. It was 2015. And right before that, American Idol was like so popular, and The Voice was only in its 10th season, and they do 2 seasons a year, so it was only on for a few years.
yeah,
And so it was cool. It was like cool to do then. I think it's like kind of maybe rising again, but I think for a little bit in between there, it was kind of just not as many people were watching.
mhm,
Um, so they were encouraging me, and everyone thought it was cool. Like, who doesn't think that like going on a reality show, at least in the beginning, is cool?
yeah.
So
And so of course that would springboard your career, but like once we hit the pandemic and all that, like I mean, it stalled out so many, careers. How
It's
did you approach
interesting.
the pandemic?
Yeah, it's interesting actually because it was almost kind of different. So after I got off The Voice, I was signed to a small label in Philadelphia for a couple years, and it went so bad in terms of how I felt I was being treated that I quit. I quit from like 2018 to 2021, like about that
Bro,
amount. Yeah, long
really?
time. Yeah, and then during the pandemic, I got my band back together. So it was actually the opposite for me.
Oh, weird.
We
Cause yeah,
got
because
back
I was looking up,
together.
I'm searching around, of course, and checking out your band
Yeah,
Velvet Rouge.
yeah,
And I'm seeing videos. I'm like, what the fuck? This video's 6 years old. Like, I didn't know
yeah.
that they were a band back then. So you had the band
No.
and, or no?
Well, so some of the members were the same. The band wasn't called Velvet Rouge. It was completely different, but I wanted to when I got back to music, I wanted to completely separate myself from the music that they put out at this record label. And because I felt so negative about the entire thing. I was like, this not fun. I feel like I'm being sexualized. I feel like, and I'm only 18,
Really?
19. So I'm
Wow.
like, I feel disgusting. I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm being yelled at. Um, I'm just like, it's all bad. It's all really bad. And I was like, I just want to finish college. Like, I gave up and I was just like, I want to finish college. I had no expectation actually to ever sing again. I wasn't writing. I was literally not singing. I don't think I was like singing in the shower. Like, I wasn't singing at all. Like, nothing. I was so anti singing. I hated it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and then I had a breakup with a boyfriend, because I said, "I think I wanna get my band back together during the pandemic, because all we're doing is sitting at home." I'm like, "I wanna be doing something." And he said, "Well, what will I do?" And I was like,
Whatever you want. What the fuck does that mean?
"No." But we had, I think, become a little codependent at that time, and I'm very independent, so it was a very negative thing. He was lovely. This nothing against him, really. It was just more like, we don't want the same thing. I don't want to be with my partner all the time. Like, that's just not who I am. And so that triggered me to want to break up with my boyfriend, start my band, and we just basically rehearsed for a whole year. We just kind of like regrouped. I remember we would drive to, where are you from?
Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, okay. Okay, far away. We're driving to like the suburbs of Philadelphia,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Half the globe away.
and
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
no, literally. And we're just trying to like just figure out what we want to do, what we want to sing. Um, and that's kind of how we got back together, and it just ended up being so perfect. So perfect. I can't even imagine it another way.
Mm. Cue the fairy tale music here. Uh,
Yeah, no,
and,
literally.
and new music coming pretty quick here, right? I'm going to try to get this interview up before the record. So
Yeah.
the record is called "Lonely Since the Day We Met."
So yeah, so our first single is gonna be "Lonely Since the Day We Met."
Okay,
On the 15th, I will be announcing some things. I got like, it's so funny because I'm like, now I have a team of people, so I'm like, what can I actually say? And
I know, right?
they're very strict with me. They're like, really like, Gina, don't say things. I'm like, okay.
You got
So
a good PR team though. Like they're chasing down interviews and stuff. It's I mean
let me tell
that's tricky
you,
in itself, right?
I work with two PR teams for just a variety of things because I have the band and I have myself. And they are so amazing. I just like keep thinking to myself every day how lucky I am that like anyone would want to work with me on any capacity. Like, I only quit my job in January to do music full time. So
Wow.
I feel so excited and grateful. So yes, there is a lot more coming. This summer is going to be absolutely madness. There's a lot of shows, there's a lot of music, a lot of firsts for the band, and for myself. And but the first single is coming out. I'm freaking out about it. It's so good. It's so good.
I was gonna say you must be chomping at the bit, but clearly you're excited for this. That's
I know.
great.
No, yeah. Oh, I am not. I can't hold things in.
Yeah,
It's so good. We worked with Brian McTier and Amy Morrissey. They did The War on Drugs and Dr. Dog and Sharon Van Etten and Kurt Vile. So they have like a gorgeous repertoire of incredible musicians they've worked with.
sweet.
And kind of their whole thing is building bands. Like that's so of course now they don't work with Sharon Van Etten, but like they were like one of the first albums she started doing, and the same with The War on Drugs. And so it's really cool to get to be someone's, I don't know if I would say like their muse, but get to be their like the thing they're really excited about, the baby they're excited about growing is so fun and feels so special
So fun to
because
work with
those are,
people that
oh
have
my
talents
God,
like that, right? Like they're
yes.
huge.
And they're like iconic. Like these people are iconic in the music scene and Philadelphia. Like I can't imagine working with anyone else in my city. So I live in Philly, but I'm moving to LA on Friday actually. So
Oh no
it's
way. Okay. Yeah.
I I can't even tell you my life is absolutely insane right
y-
now.
Your world is like upside down, spinning round, like giver,
I
full
love it.
100%.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, but I love it so much. Like I'm having the most fun I've ever had in my life. I mean, I'm only 26. I'm hoping there's going to be more fun
Yeah.
in the
Oh yeah.
future.
Lots to come. Oh my God, you're not even in your 30s yet. Like, yeah,
No,
lots to come.
I know. I'm like, there's so much more to come. I can't wait. But um, yeah, just to like, I don't know. Every time I bring a song to them and they like it, I like get goosebumps. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you like
Not just
it?
being
And
nice. Like, yeah.
yeah. Are you just being nice to me? Yeah, that's always my fear. But
Of
no,
course, with
it's
people like that,
so
no, there's no time to fuck around. If it's not good,
oh,
they're not gonna say it's good. Like, they have no time for that stuff. Like,
100%. And Brian and Amy are honest. Like, they're not going to be like, wow, this song sucks. Like, they're not going to say that because,
the
well,
song
maybe
has
they
some
would if
work
it
to do.
wasn't me. Yeah. Yeah. And they turn a song around. Like, this song specifically is actually really interesting, the single, because it started as two songs, two completely different songs that my guitarist and I merged together,
Mm.
and it was just keys, honestly. It was really just a key song that I had written, and we brought it to them, and I don't even, you'll hear it, and you're just gonna, I'm gonna release demos of it too, and you're just gonna be like, how is this the same song? Like, how is this the same thing? It's so, oh my God. I feel like I look like I'm like daydreaming because I am. I'm just like so excited. And the video, oh my God.
I love how
I'm
excited you are for it. That's
I
great.
am. I'm so excited. We got the video. Um,
And that's all
I
on May
have like,
15th as well for the video too?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. It's like, it's beyond the, oh, everything about it. We just started working with an amazing video producer who's doing every video for this record. Um, and oh my God, he's so good. And he's young, he's like 22. I'm like, how are you working like this? Like,
Nice.
I just don't understand.
Nice.
It's amazing. But yeah, and I keep saying I can't believe what's happening to me, but I really can't. It feels really special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lonely Since the Day We Met, I guess in brackets Frankenstein. If you're amalgamating two songs, right, you can have like a
Yes.
parentheses of it's Frankenstein as well. You can
Oh
use
my
that.
God. I'm like,
I'll take 15% of the commissions.
I know for real. I'm about to pay you for that idea. Oh my
When
God. Wait, that's
when
such a good idea.
when did you start taking music seriously? Like how like we talk about the voice and stuff and like you're 15, 16 or whatever it was. Like when did you start seriously?
Yeah. Okay. So interesting. So do you know Bam Margera?
Yeah, Jackass,
Okay.
Skater.
Yeah. So yes, he grew up right near me. I grew up in Westchester where they filmed all that.
Cool.
So, I mean, I don't know Bam, but the point is, I did this show when I was 14 at um, a venue that he owned. So basically, how this all worked was my grandfather bought me my first guitar when I was like 13. I started writing music. And I just started reaching out to venues. I had a demo. I'm
Nice.
like 14. I'm like, I can't. I think part of the reality, which is funny, is I think most venues can't bring a 14-year-old in. Like I don't, because they're bars unless you have certain restrictions
Yeah.
against your crowd. So anyway, I ended up opening up for this guy Ryan Beatty, who is now, I do not think he would remember me, but now he is actually pretty famous. He was playing a very small show, and I remember I remember playing and my strap fell off of my guitar.
Nice.
And I'm just like, "Oh my god." And there's all these little girls. I'm like, oh my god," because he was like a 16-year-old Justin Bieber kind of guy.
Okay.
And it's just me on stage with my guitar. I don't have a band at 14. It's just me. I recovered it. It was all fine. But to your point, yeah, I was 14, I think, when I started taking it relatively seriously. I transferred high schools to a music high school or a
Okay.
Catholic high school that focused on music. We're not getting into religion, but I'm not religious anymore.
No, we're
But
not.
um,
We're fucking closing that door right here. We're not going down that road.
but this school had a very gorgeous music program, and so that's why I transferred there. And so I really just started to make these like little moves, and I think I was a dancer my whole life. I really was always entertaining, but I didn't really like get started until The Voice. I would say that
Mm.
show was a one off. I never did another show until The Voice, until like the 14-year-old show. Then I went to The Voice.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
and it
Okay.
was, yeah, so it was a pretty big gap, but I was totally singing. I was doing all the high school things that you could possibly imagine
Yeah.
that the music nerds did in high
Yeah.
school. I was doing all of those things.
And so, like, your family's, if your grandpa's getting your first guitar and stuff, like, your family's fairly musical. Like, what did you grow up around? Like,
Yeah.
what are the bands that your parents are playing, and like, what's the music in
Yeah.
your house as a kid?
Yeah. When I was younger, we would go to my grandparents, the one that got me the guitar,
Yeah.
and me and my cousins, we would have my grandmother would have a flashlight that she would do kind of like a strobe, and we'd be dancing to like Fleetwood
Nice.
Mac on the record player, Fleetwood Mac, Nora Jones, and we would just be dancing around, which was of course the most fun at that age.
Yeah.
And I love, love, love Fleetwood Mac. I've seen Stevie
Dang.
Nicks. I'm like obsessed. I'm
Like, is
obsessed
there
with
a
her.
better album than Rumors?
No, no. Like every
We
song
agree.
is a hit. Every song is a
Everyone.
hit. And it's interesting, growing up, obviously, when the album didn't come out, it's interesting hearing back because I'll hear songs sometimes and I'm like, who is that again? And it's always Fleetwood. I feel like it's always Fleetwood Mac. Like every time I love a song and I like am kind of like, wait, who is this again? Um, it's always Fleetwood Mac. It's like never not. It's never not Fleetwood Mac. Or it's always Stevie Nicks. And I think
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
that was huge. But my stepmom is in TV. So I grew up around TV. My every member of my family does some kind of music. My brother is a musician and actually plays on the record. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
so yeah, so everyone is musical. My dad did try to learn how to play the banjo in 2020 during the pandemic. It didn't work. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. But but we all do a little something. So I was totally grown up around like becoming something creative.
Yeah.
It's always been, not everyone in my family does a creative job, but everyone is creative in their own realm. I have three brothers. One does like his full-time job is not rapping, but he had like a rap group, and my other brother's a screenwriter, and my other brother's a full-time musician producer. So like
Hmm.
we're all doing that for sure. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
You're all looking for ways to not work. I get it. I understand.
Ex- exactly. I mean, honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
And
feel I feel lucky that I'm getting to not essentially not work.
I know it's so good, right? Like,
So
the
good.
creative industry, I mean, I've been doing either radio or podcasting since like the mid 90s.
Yeah.
And I I don't ever feel like I'm working.
No, you really don't.
Well,
Every time I get
pause,
well,
pause.
okay,
I feel like
maybe
I'm
during
working
editing.
when I'm doing like social media shit where I have to
Oh,
do that stuff.
okay.
Not the editing, all that stuff's fine. Like I don't mind that.
Okay.
Building the podcast and all that, like
You're
I don't
cool
mind.
with that.
It's the
Okay.
stuff that's like mindless shit. They're like,
Yeah.
you know, hey, check out this
Yeah.
cool episode of blah blah blah. Like it needs to be done. But beyond
Yeah,
that,
but
it
it's
never
like
feels like work ever.
uh,
Like ever, never does.
never. It's so even when I go into a meeting, I'm excited. Like I'm always excited.
Yeah.
Um I don't yeah, no, I totally agree. The only time I would say it feels like work to me, I had like a money meeting with my drummer yesterday, and that makes me like, oh my god, my anxiety like shoots through the roof. It could be the discussion of a dollar, and I am like, no, please, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah. I
Um,
get that.
but that's probably because I'm 26 and um, it's just what it is at in your 20s. You're afraid of your finances. Um,
Yeah.
but no,
Totally.
I agree. I agree. I don't. You're like it doesn't stop. Please tell me it stops at some point.
Never.
Okay, great, great, perfect. Can't wait.
What
Can't wait to grow old.
what was your first concert?
Hannah Montana was totally my first concert. I know, but it was when Miley Cyrus like came out halfway through the concert. It was actually pretty sick. Um, but I think I was young. I was probably like 10 to 12. So after that, after that, my very first boyfriend I met at a music festival. I met at Firefly Music Festival, which is in Delaware. And I don't remember the first show I saw there, but I believe the headliners were The Killers, and there was Cage the Elephant. Like it was
Mm,
really cool, and I went there for like 4 years in a row. We would camp out. It was very, very fun. So that was probably my first real thing. But I've seen like Taylor Swift like 5 times. Like I love Taylor Swift. Big Swift.
holy
I'm actually guess what?
the
I'm
biggest
coming
artist
to
ever.
Vancouver. Yeah, I'm coming to Vancouver to see her in December.
No. What? Because it was cheaper to come here than buy where you are, or what?
It was the only one that we could get because you have to
Oh.
like sign up to try to get tickets.
What did a hotel here cost you for that? Had to be like
I
ridiculous.
actually, you know, it's probably not good. We actually didn't even like book any of that
Yeah,
yet.
don't do
It's
that.
this.
Don't do that. Just bring a
I
tent.
should do it for real. Oh my god, I probably gonna have to pitch a tent.
You are
But
seriously gonna get roasted.
do you think
Oh yeah. Book it
even an
now.
Airbnb?
Book it now. Or you're gonna get roasted.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
okay. I'll do
Like
that. I'll do that.
we have friends like my kids thankfully don't listen to
Mhm.
Taylor Swift, but we have friends kids that wanted to go to the Vancouver show, but like it was so expensive to go here that they legitimately bought tickets in like fucking France or some shit or like England or something like that, right? Like
Well,
cost of the
it's
flight, hotel, and tickets were cheaper than buying tickets to the Vancouver show.
really
Yeah.
we got like the pre-verified, so it was only 180 for a ticket. I don't know. All I know is I'm gonna be living in California, and we're actually gonna take a road trip up.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
it'll be fun. But
That's a
okay,
great road trip too.
get my hotel.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Get your shit together.
yes.
Yeah.
I know. I need to. Now I'm a little. I'm
And
about
by
to
the
like
way,
text my friend.
don't think you're all skipping past the Hannah Montana, by the way. Like
Okay. I
they,
love Hannah Montana. I love Hannah Montana.
what stood out from like you say she comes out, but like what still stands out from that show?
Honestly, so much. You know what? You're bothering me. I'm kidding. Um, so basically, the coolest thing about the show was her outfit transformation. So she, this is what happens. She is Hannah Montana. She comes, um, she goes back back towards center stage, goes off stage right, and it looks like you can see her as Hannah Montana. And she's it's this weird thing, and then Hannah Montana comes back out, but it's not Hannah Montana. It's a fake Hannah Montana, comes back out, and then runs back in, like switches, and she's Miley. Like it was just okay. Imagine you're like a 10-year-old girl. That's
Sure.
very exciting.
Like, and you're
It's very exciting.
binging Hannah Montana at that point, of
Oh
course.
my god. I
Yeah.
sobbed during the last episode. Like I actually did. I sobbed. I sobbed so hard. There was like a horse in it. I remember it all. Um I sobbed so hard. But you know what? I listened. I'm so disturbed at myself. I have listened to the Hannah Montana like album relatively recently.
Yeah.
Um too recent to count. But I love Miley Cyrus, so that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. What are you binging lately? Like binge watching?
Binge watching?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just finished the Baby Reindeer. Have you seen that?
No. Heard it's good though.
So good. That show's amazing, Netflix.
Okay.
And I'm just getting back into, did you hear about the murder? Did you hear about the murder of the guy? It's called Jinx on HBO on Max.
No.
Okay, so there's this guy, and he is a um like an heir to a skyscraper throne in New York City.
Mm.
Essentially, he kills all these people, and I think he gets a retrial, and that's why there's a part two. So I went back to watch again. So
Like
that's I'm
legitimately,
really
like this is a true based on a true story?
oh, this is a documentary, by the way.
Oh,
Sorry, this is a
okay. Yeah,
documentary
yeah, yeah.
series,
Okay.
and he's creepy. Like when you look at someone
No.
and
People like that aren't creepy, are they?
their eyes are like black. The entire thing is just like a black hole in their eyes.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. There's a really oh,
Right.
well, look it up. I'm about to start like scrolling and trying to find it, but you need to look it up. It's freaky.
Jinx. Okay. And
Um,
did you watch any of that Jeffrey Dahmer shit that they put out?
you know what? I only watched
What?
a couple episodes. I didn't see the whole thing, but I need to watch the whole thing, but it was insane the first couple. Insane. Insane. Insane.
Like
I love
you
murder stuff.
you heard about it, of course, as it goes down. And I'm older than you by like almost double your age. So, I remember that stuff when it was happening, and like you couldn't fucking what he put parts of people in his freezer and was eating
No.
them. What?
Is that not
Like it
it's
couldn't get any
insane.
more crazy than that.
It's insane. And that stuff's still happening. Like that kind of thing
Oh, for
still
sure.
goes on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's Have you ever seen it's not funny, maybe it's a little funny. There is a reporter who goes you have to look up this video online, and he goes to a cannibalist society,
Oh
okay?
yes. I saw
Did you
this
see this
about a week
video?
ago, and he was like, maybe this isn't the best idea that I'm here. And like the guy was
And
in
the
the
guy's
native tongue was
screaming.
basically like, I'm gonna fucking eat you, bud.
It was so funny in, like, a not funny way, where you're kinda like, "Dude, get out of there. He is
To-
going to eat you."
Totally, like, dude, why would you even go there in the first place? What are you, nuts?
I
Oh, I'm just a reporter. They're not gonna eat me. Dude, they're cannibals. They'll eat you.
like yeah, especially if they hate you, and he hated him. He was like, "Why do you eat people?" And he's like, "I'm gonna eat you," but in their native tongue.
Yeah. Wow. Do you watch are you a sports fan? Do you give a shit that
Actually,
the NHL playoffs are here right now, or no?
so the Flyers aren't in the playoffs, which is my home
So
team.
so once they're gone, you're done.
Relatively, I love hockey though. I grew up watching hockey because my brother played here and he played in Denmark for a little bit. My
Oh
one
no way.
brother. And so I went to go see him and play in Denmark when he was in his 20s. And then I've always grown up loving it. I become a psycho when I watch hockey, like a psychopath.
Yeah,
Um, my
as you should.
brother is, yeah, of course. My brother's a police officer, and they just had like a police officer versus firefighter game. And I was disgustingly crazy. I
Yeah.
was disgustingly crazy to the point that little kids in front of me were like, "Ah." That's what I get. So, no, I really won't like stick watching after like my team is out.
I'm saying
Um, but what's the Vancouver team?
Canucks.
Are they still in it?
Yeah.
Oh, are they playing well?
We are in the hunt for the cup, baby. Round 2 starts
Woo!
Wednesday. Let's go. Let's
Oh.
fucking go.
Well, now I'm gonna have to watch it. Now I'm excited.
And we're
Maybe I'll.
playing Edmonton too, like one of our rivals, like McDavid, one of the best
Okay.
players in the league. Like it's on.
Okay. I'm excited. But I know
Yeah,
I do love it. To your point, I do love ice hockey
yeah,
very, very much. And like I will watch football. Like I watch the Eagles
yeah,
because they like consistently like played pretty well over the last few years.
yeah, yeah.
Well, actually they had a really bad end of the season this year. So that's neither here nor there. But that's about it. Like I don't really watch the other sports. Like I love the Olympics, but
Yeah,
like who
same.
doesn't? Like who doesn't
Same.
get excited about like figure skating
It
on
was
the
so
Olympics?
rad. Like when the Olympics came to Vancouver in 2010,
Yeah.
I was still doing the afternoon show at the rock station here in the town,
Yeah.
and they put me at the Irish House to do my show
Shut
from.
up. Shut up.
And just getting fucking lit up every day because, of course, like you get there and it's an Irish house. Like, let's not paint them as something, but Irish people, they're known for drinking.
No, they are. I
And
actually am I'm seeing an Irish guy and he like truly from Ireland and they can also just hold down alcohol like I've
yeah,
never seen.
sure. But it
So
was
you're not wrong.
crazy. It was crazy doing my show from the Irish house.
I
By
believe
three
it.
three o'clock, I'm like, talking normal. Right by seven, by the end of the shift,
You're
I'm
done.
just done.
You're done. You're done. They
So
are
good.
so fun. They're wild in like a good way, not
In a
like
good way, yeah.
they're also so nice. It's like ridiculous. Like I've never
Yeah.
seen like hospitality like that in Ireland.
Yeah.
Um, but I believe it, and that's so fun. Oh, I want to go to the Olympics so bad,
Yeah.
but I don't know when they're coming to the States again.
It wasn't Salt Lake City, I think, is trying for it.
I hope.
I
Oh,
think
I
so.
hope. It would be so fun. It would be so fun. I just
Oh,
really
it's
want to
so
go
good. It
see
doesn't even matter
someone.
what it is either, right? Like
No,
any event doesn't matter.
no, it literally doesn't matter. You're just so excited for your country to like try to
Yeah.
win something. And
Yeah.
it's also really fun to see countries like you've actually never heard of. And you're like
Yeah,
there's so
yeah, yeah.
because there's so many and you're like, "Wait, is that what is that place?" And they're like winning and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm all of a sudden a big fan of that country."
Yeah.
I've never been.
I'm a huge fan of Latvia suddenly.
Yeah. All of a sudden, that is my favorite place, and I will be going there.
So you mentioned that your brother is a cop. Like, when did he start doing that? And like he must have fucking crazy stories, hey?
Oh my god. Oh, you don't even know. So he actually started as a we're going all through like murder things. Like this is now a murder podcast, but
Yeah, the murder
we
cast.
the murder cast. He started as a deputy coroner. So basically they would go to not just homicides, any kind of thing, and he would go and have to like take pictures, take the body, all that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
And then he just wanted to become a detective, but the only way to become a detective is to be a cop. So he has insane stories, and obviously I don't need to justify for him like the kind of cop he is, but of course, in this world, there are so many bad things happening. And what I love about him so much is he's working in a really bad part of Pittsburgh. He works in Pittsburgh,
Hmm.
on night shift, which is like in the worst zone of Pittsburgh.
Oh my
And
god.
he like it makes him feel really good to like help people and like actually end up helping people, not just be an annoying police officer that people assume is always the case. Um, it's just so cool, and it's cool to hear his stories, and, he actually has a leg sleeve of all these different homicides over his course of him being a police officer, and they have, like, little stories, so it'll be like, um, one time he had to go to the scene of a homicide at a pizza place, I think. There was some kind of pizza, so he has a bicycle with pizza as the wheels, and it's melting. It's just a whole cool thing. His leg sleeve is amazing.
Hmm.
Um And to confirm, not homicides he's done, by the way, everyone. These are homicides he goes to see. He's never killed anyone. Um, and it's just so cool to see him like really make a difference. And now he does. I think he's like does plain clothes and does some big drug busts, which is also really
Wow.
cool. And again, helping people try to stay off of some of the most awful drugs in the world. So it's really cool to see.
That's
Um,
crazy. Like your brother must have balls of steel.
Dude, honestly, he does. He's the ice hockey player one. So he's very well, obviously he is because he's the cop. I already mentioned the cop ice hockey. But he really is like the coolest. But then he comes home and he holds their little cat. And I'm like, you're such a little bitch. Like you're such a bitch. Um, but he does. He's always been like cool big brother. Like
Yeah.
he's always been the cool guy and has the best stories. So
I
yeah.
bet you he has like the best because I always and I want to ask you this as well, but I bet you he
Yeah.
has like the best near death stories.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's never had anyone. I don't think, you know what? He probably wouldn't tell me if like he had someone like with a
No, probably
gun
not.
at
Like
him. No,
you don't
probably
want to.
not.
Yeah, you probably don't want to freak your sister out. Like
But he was just in a car chase, like across state lines, and obviously a lot of police don't have like great funding, so he's in an old car. He said it gets to like 80, and it's like it does not work. Like this car is like, he's like, I can barely get to 100. And if we crash, I don't know that we can even brake, frankly, in this car.
oh
So
my god.
that I think that's his most, as far as I know, his most near death or would have died
Right.
experience if he
I
didn't
bet you.
do that.
I bet you people have shot at him.
No,
Come on.
maybe,
How the fuck could
maybe,
you? How could you be a plainclothes drug busting and not get
but
shot?
he's not. But he's not like. Well, you know what? These are questions I need to ask him. I'm gonna reach
There's
out to you via
no
email.
chance. There's no chance that he's told you because he doesn't want to freak you the fuck out, and he's been shot at. I can guarantee you that.
You
Ask
know
him
what's so
and tweet me or hit me on Instagram. And let me know because I'm
I
legitimately curious.
absolutely will. I absolutely will. And you know what's so fun about him? He's someone who, like, anyone who's interested in hearing about it, not saying you have to have a call with my brother, but he is actually interested in like telling the stories. He's actually writing a book too about all the stories that he's ever done, or all the things that have happened to him.
Yeah.
Um, and he just loves telling people. It's like because it's so interesting. So you know what? He probably has one of those, and I'm gonna call him right after this and
All
ask
right.
him.
And how about you? Have you ever had like where you holy shit I could have died there?
Hold on, let me think. Um, oh, not really. Like it's not that I don't do like death defying things. Like I hike like high things, but I don't free climb. I don't skydive. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to die.
I have
Do you?
once. I did it for a radio contest.
No, no.
I
Was
know.
it freak? Would you do it again?
Not now because I have
Maybe.
kids, but back then I would have. Yeah. It was fun.
No.
Literally, dude,
I
hanging on the fucking wing of the plane, hanging on the plane on the wing,
I,
and I had to
I
let
believe
go
it.
to go. Like it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. So
I
much adrenaline.
just I just think to myself, I just don't want to die. Like I don't want to die like that. I don't want to die free falling.
Yeah,
I just don't. So that's not for me. But I the only near death experience, and it's kind of sad, honestly. When I was a baby, I had meningitis and encephalitis,
mm,
and I almost died. So I would say that's my near death experience, but it's so sad. It's like, let's not bring that up.
nah.
I
Let's
have
get my
no other
editors
one.
to take that out and post. It's all
Cut
good.
that
Don't worry
out.
about that. Cut that out.
So boring
No
and
one fucking
sad.
hear that. Come on.
Boring and
So
sad. But no, I'm not a death fire. So no.
yeah, fair. And so with your back to your band, how far in advance do you have things mapped out? Like, what's the rest of 24 looking like for Velvet Rouge?
In a few months, we have a big release. We have a big release in a few months, and
So,
we have shows mapped out until October.
okay.
Um, so we're pretty like stacked until then in terms of what we know is happening. Um, but I would say we're still what they would call like a baby band. Like we're still getting more opportunities as every day comes. I'm hoping that by the end of this week, I have a really big announcement. I'm just like waiting to hear if it actually happens,
Mhm,
and then I'll let you know.
mhm.
But it's just kind of it's always changing. I mean, I'm hoping to get on a really big tour at the end of this year. That's my goal, um, as an opener, and so I'm just riding the wind. I would say like this summer, I am so booked.
Yeah.
I am exhausted thinking about it. But by October, I don't know anything past October yet. That's what I'll say.
Guaranteed that big machine is working at October, November, December, and they'll just let you know as you keep going, right? Like,
No,
it's happening.
literally.
Yeah.
Every day there's something in my inbox and it's great. It's great. Um, and I'm just like I already have said 1,000 times, I'm so grateful. There's so many cool things coming. The whole summer there's shows. And I am actually trying to hope to come to Vancouver. So let me know what venues you like.
In Vancouver,
Yeah.
there's so many good venues in Vancouver. The
Well,
Pearl's really good, Rickshaw Theater's really good.
you're gonna have to send this to me. I'm not
I'll
gonna
shoot
remember.
yeah, I'll shoot that stuff over to you for sure. Yeah, there's so many rad venues in Vancouver. So, yeah.
Love that.
Um, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for taking the
Thank you.
time here this morning and hanging out with us. It's almost like you
Yeah,
have a
thank you.
marketing team where everybody says, "Let's get on the same page, Velvet Rouge Band," on all social media. It's called branding, kids.
It's called
Called
branding.
branding.
Everything is the same. There's nothing different. My only difference is my email is slightly different for the band. That's it. But everything else is exactly the same. I just knew what I was doing.
That's how it's done. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram,
It's
all of the above.
can't miss it. Website, same exact thing. velvetrougeband.com.
Anything else? Anything else before we wrap this shit up?
No, no. Everything you said is exactly what it is.
Perfect. Well, thanks for doing this today, Gina. Great to see you. Nice to meet you. And we'll
Thank
tag you when we're
you.
chucking this stuff around online, and we'll see you
Thank you
soon.
so much.
Okay.
Bye bye.